Welcome to ExSighted.
Hi, I'm Chandani.
Hi, and I'm Addy.
So, what are we going to talk about today, Addy?
Today, Chandani, we're going to talk about something I have no experience with whatsoever.
Okie dokie. What is it?
Blind parenting.
I don't think I have experience of that either.
I'm really excited. Scott's a great guy. And he's also a parent. And that's what our session today is about, right?
Yes, it's about blind parenting.
And you know Scott, I heard you know Scott, and I find this very interesting how you met Scott. Where did you meet Scott?
I actually met Scott in a poker session. Yes.
Oh my god, isn't that cool? That's really James Bond-esque, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Oh my god, are we going to play some poker on the video today?
Not today.
Not today.
Stick to the blind parenting interview.
So we'll have a different blind poker
session. Yeah,
session
maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Shall we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
So Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I'm Scott, I'm 37 and I lost my sight at the age of 22 from a stroke and I'm completely blind.
And you've got a beautiful daughter, haven't you?
Yeah, so my daughter Allegra is 3.5 and she's a bit of a whirlwind, but yes, she's fully sighted.
Excellent.
So Scott, I bet your wife doesn't let you get away from parenting duties as because of your blindness. Can you perhaps just some of the challenges potentially that you face as a blind parent?
Yeah, so my wife, she's pretty good at getting me involved, and yeah, for me, I really want to be involved as well in Allegra's life as much as possible. So, we have like little routines that we do together. So, like her breakfast, I'll try and go and do her breakfast as much as possible. Bath time as well. That's like our time together. We also play quite a bit as well. So we'll kind of, when I'm not working, we'll play kind of as much as we can as well. And yes, just try and have as much time together, both me and Allegra, just the two of us, but also as a family as well.
And when you are actually playing with her, do you play with like sound toys, or you make certain adaptation when you're playing with her?
No, so I think kind of our approach is really that we do kind of types of play that lend themselves a bit more to my capabilities really. So it's really around, we use a lot of kind of blocks and building things and like small world play as well. So we play with like a lot of like imaginative play toys and things like that as well. So like the other day we were playing with like some small dolls and like dolls houses and stuff, which actually kind of lend themselves really well to the kind of things that I can do. Whereas like, I don't know, things like drawing and colouring and stuff, maybe my wife will do a lot more of those kinds of things. So yeah, we kind of just will gravitate a bit more to those kind of things, and then my wife will do other things with her.
I think that's great. It's almost like Allegra gets the best of both worlds. So you kind of introduce her in toys and in activities which are very sort of tactile and sensory based, and whereas your wife can involve Allegra in more visual activities like drawing, which might not be so easy for someone who's blind. So that sounds like a pretty good match there.
Yeah. And do you have any tips for people out there who are blind or partially sighted, who'd like to have kids in future, or are planning, or any
already
tips?
have kids and might be struggling?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, I'm by no means like an expert at this. I think one of the things is that I think all blind people, or a lot of blind people, are amazing problem solvers. And I think what our approach and my approach is really try to look at all of the problems and how we can best solve it but for me as an individual, how can I best try and solve the problem, and also for us as a family unit, how can we best try and solve these problems? You've really just got to do that on a day-by-day basis, hour-by-hour basis. You can't take what works for one person and try and say, oh well, why isn't that working for us? You've really got to look at what works for you, but also recognise that that there's lots of things that are possible as well. So just because someone says it's not possible for them doesn't mean that it won't be possible for you either.
It's just like any parent, right? Regardless of being blind
massively.
or not. Some parents are able to do so much more than others. It's an individual thing.
And parenting is hard, like whoever you are. But it's also amazing as well. It's super fun and enjoyable. I think when you're blind, you maybe just have a different set of challenges.
And I guess also like kids are very flexible as well. Like you'd be surprised how kids can adapt, right?
Yeah. So I mean, Allegra, this is all she's ever known, and she is super. She's super good at, like, she loves guiding me and stuff, and I'm really I'm really conscious that I don't want her to feel like she has to guide me, or she like has to kind of do stuff for me. But actually, she really enjoys doing that stuff as well. She'll see my wife guiding me around, and she almost feels like that she wants to do some of that stuff. And like, we were sorting out some toys the other day, and she was really helping me to sort out the stuff as well. And I think she genuinely enjoys doing that stuff.
Yeah.
It also kind of builds some good values in her as well.
Yeah.
It's just an additional skill set she can have. What I really want to know, Scott, is there any embarrassing stories or any situations that have occurred, by you being a blind parent that you want to share with us?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's probably a couple. So there was certainly one incident that I can remember when I was trying to change her nappy, which I didn't do too many nappies with her, to be honest with you. It wasn't ever really my forte, and there was certainly quite a bit of poo spread all over the place. I could have definitely got better at doing nappy changes.
Can't we use that as a blind excuse?
No, not really. I know there are a lot of blind parents who are very, very capable at changing nappies. It was maybe just a forte of mine that I wasn't very good at.
Okay.
And then also, I remember there was one time where I had Allegra on my chest and wasn't aware that she had been sick all down my front and was getting around with baby sick all down my front as well.
Oh my God.
That was another one. That's just maybe be aware of what your baby is doing when they're on your chest. A couple of those stories, but there were the worst things in life. So.
Yeah. Well, it's been lovely having you here. Thanks for coming and speaking to us.
You've been amazing, Scott.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed today's video.
And if you have any suggestions or comments for us, please get in touch. Our email is exsightedchannel@gmail.com.
ExSighted is spelled EXSIGHTED.
See you soon.
Until next time.